Evening. Welcome to the May 15th, 2023 meeting of the Finance Committee. It's a joint meeting tonight between Finance and Capital, so we have members of the Capital Committee here. We have a quorum on the Finance Committee, so we will go ahead and get started. We'll kick it off with Capital.
Yeah.
Mr. Walsh.
So just to bring folks up to speed, the Board of Health had a capital submission that was actually mislabeled, or something happened where it was put into the operating budget, and it's actually capital. And so we'd like, if you can come up and go over that request with us, that would be helpful, and we can get it going.
I didn't bring any paperwork because we had sent it out to you previously. My name is Jean Marie Joyce. I'm the health agent for the town. In 2018, we got audited at the landfill, and one of the big violations that came up was the fact that the old stockade fence, which is wooden in some parts and metal in others, is rotted out. And we now have ATVs are going in there. That's a concern for two reasons. One is DEP has noted it as a violation, and they can be pretty hefty in their fines if you don't fix it. Number two is it's a security risk. The DPW uses it as a recycling center. We have gas fence up, those white pipes you sometimes see when you're out there, and they're being knocked over and kicked. So that lets the gas come out in a timely fashion instead of an explosive fashion through the cap.
And those were gonna be fixed by the DPW, did you say before?
We're hoping so, but I haven't been able to look at that yet. I don't have plans of the cap. It was done in 2008. And I don't have the plans, so I don't know whether they go through the cap or whether they're on top of the cap coming out. You have to be careful when you go in and do something that's been capped and approved by DEP, because if you fiddle with it too much or you change it too much, they then require you to come under present day capping and monitoring results, which can be quite costly. So as far as I know, at least half of them are probably just broken off at the base above, and that's just re-sleeving them with the PVC piping. There's two that I'm not sure about whether they go into the cap or not.
And did we get a hard quote on this, or an estimate?
Not on the capping. We did on the fencing. The fencing's about $125,000 to do. We have to do almost 3 sides. You can't do 4 sides, but almost 3 sides of it. And like I said, that was capped quite a long time ago, and the wooden stockade has just rotted away. So that would be mostly Bridge Street and parts of Plymouth Street that go behind some houses. I think there's 10 houses that we have the fencing on.
Right, and you said we were cited for this by DEP?
It was a violation by DEP on their last inspection. Their next inspection is scheduled to be sometime in April or May of 2024.
Okay. So we have the capital request. It did come through an email. Did you folks get it to an email? You didn't? Okay. And we get, can we just get that violation and stuff, if you got a copy of it sent to us and stuff? 'Cause
It was in that whole packet. I can send you the
Was
pictures.
in there too? Okay, I'll
Yep, the
look
pictures,
for
the violation, what DEP says.
Okay,
Yep,
all right. I'll make sure the capital committee gets that. And
okay.
we're gonna, hopefully tonight we'll get a better picture of our financial situation, and we will schedule a meeting next week with capital and let you know about that meeting.
All right,
Okay?
sounds good, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Oh, one quick question. You said 125,000 on the fence, but you were estimating 25,000 on the pipes? I think it was 150,000, wasn't it?
150,000 is what we originally asked for. There's 3 separate areas. One is replacing all the stockade with metal chain, because half of it is chain already. The other one is, some people wanted what they call security fencing. It's kind of like the plastic slats that go in. That would be up against the side that's on Plymouth Street, the residential
Where the
section.
homes are?
That's
Okay.
gonna cost about $8,000 or $9,000. Then we have the tree removal for 4 feet on either side so that the truck can get in with the fencing. Because some of the fencing, the trees have grown through it. So we need brush removal and tree removal.
Okay, all right,
You're talking around 2,000 feet,
okay,
linear feet of fencing and that kind of tree removal.
okay,
That's all in the packet, so.
all right. right, now you can have the meeting back.
That's okay. No other capital items? you
No,
want
we're
to-
just trying to get a financial picture so we can
Okay,
revote next week or the week after.
okay. All right. So, we'll, why don't we start with, in the packet, there are minutes from the April 26th meeting that Karen sent out on email. If those have been reviewed, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from April 26th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, motion by Lisa,
Second.
second by George. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay. So 4-0-1, minutes are approved. Okay, we'll get those done. We have some line item transfer requests, which are the next items in your packet. So we will go through them in the order that they're in the package. The first one is from Public Library, and I see Jessica's here. Do you want to come on up? Thank you for coming. Okay.
Hi, I'm Jessica Henderson. I'm the director of the public library. There was about a 6-month gap between when the last director left and I started. And that left excess in the director's salary line. And then we had a library assistant who moved on. And again, there's always a gap when somebody leaves and when the new person is hired. So for that reason, we have excess in the salary lines, and we'd like to move that into general expenses. Our photocopy machines are wicked old, and the 2013 one just, needs to be replaced. So I wrote up the things if you want more information, but basically we have various needs that, we'd like to use the money for.
Okay. Yeah, so we can see on here, it's the copy machine, the conference for Mass Library Association, administrative fax machine, and then wireless printing software for copier. All seems reasonable to me, and it's coming from your own budget.
Yep.
Any questions for Jessica? Okay. I don't know if we should vote on them one at a time, or probably.
I'll make a motion for this adjustment.
Okay, so Dave makes a motion to accept the requested transfers from the library.
I'll second.
Second from Lisa. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes 5-0. Thank you. It'll go to the board of selectmen, too. We both have to vote on it, so.
Okay, great.
All right. So if there's a lot of signing we'll just do that at the end, though. We won't make everyone wait for us. The next one up is from the police department, fire department. So they're transferring from permanent and call fire salaries to totaling $15,000 to additional comp other. It's for an additional on-the-job injury, boat training, and then anticipated costs for the bicentennial fireworks and bonfire detail.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Motion by Dave to accept the $15,000 transfer from the fire department.
Second the motion.
Second from George. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Passes 4-0-1. Okay, the next one is transfer from the police department, so it's coming from sergeant salary line item, transferring to detective salary, shift differential, court cover, cover vacation, holiday pay, other, and longevity. When the sergeant's contract was settled at the fall special town meeting, the increases to salary all went to one budget line rather than being broken up to the various components. This transfer corrects that. So it's a net zero, just breaking it out to the appropriate spending category.
Make a motion to accept it.
Motion by Dave,
I'll second the motion.
second by Lisa. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Next one, DPW. A lot here. Transfers from labor payroll, sick leave buyback, vacation buyback, license payments, longevity pay, vacation, fleet vacation buyback, fleet license, fleet labor payroll, fleet facilities longevity, facilities vacation buyback, water sick longevity, water sick leave, water vacation buyback, and water license. 2, DPW payroll, DPW overtime, fleet labor payroll, fleet overtime, facilities license payments, sewer salary, sewer license, water labor, and water OT. Again, a contract issue when the DPW laborers contract was settled at the fall special town meeting. The increases to salary all went to one budget line rather than being broken up into various components. This transfer corrects that. It's a net zero transfer request. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Dave to accept the DPW request.
I'll second. Oh, you
Second
can
by Lisa. Any discussion?
Just a question, I see there's a mix here between DPW, fleet, facilities, and water. I'm assuming they're being allocated appropriately.
Yeah, so when they settled the contract, when we voted at a town meeting, we put the appropriate amount in total that went to the general fund and the appropriate amount in total that went to water. So now it's just being moved between the lines, so the net of anything water related on there should be 0, and anything general fund should be 0. Nothing's crossing between funds.
Okay.
Any other discussion, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. And the last one is from the town clerk's office. Transfer from town meeting wardens, $3,000 to admin support and clerical salary. The original budget was calculated assuming employees would take comp time rather than overtime. Again, a net 0 budget transfer.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Dave,
I'll second.
second by George. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Okay, motion approved. Transfers are all set on our end. We will sign everything before we leave. So we'll talk about the budget next, where we're at. So, since we've last met, we're down to around, I think, around 300,000, 330? Okay, $330,000 deficit that we continue to work to try and balance. There was a meeting held last week between members of the finance team here in town. Carol Julius from the select board was in attendance with some representation from the schools, superintendent, business administrator, the chair of the school committee, and then budget subcommittee members were in attendance. I did want to thank the school chair and the budget subcommittee members for their participation in the meeting. They asked a lot of really great questions to try and understand where we were trying to get to. The takeaway from that was that the subcommittee was going to regroup and take a look at their budget and let us know if there was anything that could be done. So more news to come on that. Unfortunately, time's a ticking, but I think we feel that every other budget at this point is in a spot where we've looked at reductions and where we really didn't have much more room to cut. So, any commentary, Charlie or Melanie?
No, I'm just, as you mentioned, work's continuing. I think we have another meeting scheduled with some of the same people and a few other officials. Melanie should be there, Paula should be there, this coming Friday. So maybe we'll get a progress report from the school as to whether they've been able to take a look at their budget or not and where things stand. And then I think you mentioned, there's a school committee meeting on the 23rd.
There is, yes.
Yeah, so maybe something will come out of that also.
Yes.
And since we've last met, we've got versions of the budget from the Ways and Means and the House
Yeah,
but
both
not,
the House and the Senate. The House budget's going through, the Senate budget has been released, it really doesn't change much. I
right,
mean,
that was my point, was we've seen a couple more variations, but nothing of
you know,
significance.
I mean, the House
For
budget,
us.
the Senate budget's a little friendlier, but it, it's not material. It's less than 1/2 of 1/10 of 1% of our total budget. So we're not depending on any miracles from Beacon Hill.
Yes, no, we're not. They're not handing out money to anybody.
Or they are, but just not
Just
enough.
not-
Not us, yeah, that is true, that is true. So I won't be able to attend the meeting on Friday morning, but Dave is going to attend to represent the Finance Committee. And as Charlie said, there'll be members from town finance team to answer questions and help continue to talk through, hoping we can get to a good spot before the June 5th town meeting. So we need to meet to go over the final budget and any articles that would require our recommendation at the extended town meeting on June 5th. The latest you wanted that done, Charlie, is May 30th, correct? Tuesday?
Yeah. I think, you know, it takes a material amount of time for Melanie to put everything together, give it to the board to start printing copies, because we won't print the whole warrant, but we'll certainly print Article 2, and then also the capital plan article, along with any other information that might be necessary for any of the other articles.
So I think we should schedule a meeting for that evening, knowing that the meeting's happening this Friday. There's a school committee meeting next Tuesday. So we could either meet Thursday the 25th or Tuesday, maybe we should meet Thursday the 25th if everyone's available. That gives us a few extra days in case.
What extra days until the next week, Monday?
Monday's the holiday for Memorial Day, so if we have to get everything finalized to Melanie by Tuesday, Wednesday of the following week.
Yeah, I mean, if you met Tuesday night, you meet Tuesday night, I understand that. It's just,
Yeah, but I mean, if we could meet Thursday night and accomplish the same, it just gives Melanie a couple extra days.
Yeah, whatever works for,
Hmm?
whatever works, I can.
Okay.
I'm
Does anyone have a
Trying to
preference?
keep everything updated as we
Work
go.
schedule wise?
Tuesday's probably better, but
Okay.
I could make it work.
I can't do Thursday, I coach soccer.
Oh, no, that's okay. So all right, so we'll do Tuesday the 30th, at 6 PM here.
yeah, I may need to zoom in,
I
I'll
was
talk
gonna
to,
say, I don't think I can attend that day, but
Oh, Wednesday.
well, it won't matter for me that week, but I'll get Ryan to get things set up,
Okay.
or try to.
I'll make sure you and I are on the same page
Okay.
before. We shouldn't be figuring anything out during that meeting.
I would hope not.
So are we thinking 6 PM on?
6 PM on the 30th. Yep.
So Melanie, from our discussions in the past for capital and the funding sources we identified, that's changed a little bit.
Not necessarily. So I just updated it based on the warrant that just went through. So we had a little over 2 million in free cash. We used 128,000 at the fall special town meeting. We are using currently about 900,000 to balance the operating budget. The spring town meeting, it looks like right now with the articles, we have about 43,000 that we're using. The annual town meeting, about 118,000. Then you come into what contracts are gonna be settled between now and then. Between clerical, which is settled, that's about 72,000, and fire that is settled. Or no, fire is not, so I don't have
We
where,
may still have, there's a reasonable chance of getting something
Which will be-
settled before.
and it would be a significant number. There's the non-union contract, which is a good chance we have
Yes,
something
'cause
there.
I'm gonna need something from the board next Monday.
Patrol, you don't think?
No
we'll
way.
have Anything for patrol?
Not a chance. Dispatch, not a chance.
Nothing for dispatch. The deputy police chief will have his work in there, so with what is settled or potentially, it is a big variable there. With a rough estimate of if fire settles, what that might be, maybe 500,000.
Okay, so we were looking at the 400,000.
Yeah, Tim funded a few more things from ambulance instead of free cash.
Yep.
We have the selectmen voting on an ARPA project for the permitting on Monday, so I did not include that here. That was $60,000. So we pulled a couple things.
Right, and there was
out.
also a change in the school, some grant for the technology where they got increased amount.
For your actual capital
Right,
items,
so-
yeah, so that went from,
That was $30-something thousand.
yeah, they had it 132,000 and now it's about 70,000 because they got the grant officially, where before, I think we thought they were gonna have to submit for reimbursement.
Right, for that's
But
what we
that's
thought.
not the case,
That's good.
yeah, and then the school lunch paying for 40,000.
Yep.
With those,
And then now we have to make consideration at our next meeting about the
the
fence.
Board of Health.
Just to that already came out of their operating for health, the 150.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, that's what I thought, okay. Any other questions on budget or where we stand or capital requests?
I think we're hopeful that there's a couple of capital requests that might be a state earmark, but we can't rely on that, but, some of the library projects made it through round one, I guess, to get grant money from the state, so that
Okay.
would be nice. If we might fund them, but maybe,
Right, for the
pull the
various
money back.
earmarks we're talking about.
So that was about 65,000.
That's good.
Yep.
Every little bit helps.
Take it. Waiting for Brian Kiley to reach out. I'm just trying to see for the library roof what the timeline of that project would be, so I can get an estimated debt schedule from our bond advisors. I don't know if it's something that he hopes can be from the summer, or if it's something that materials are gonna, I don't know. Do you know if he spoke to that when he
No.
presented it?
I haven't heard nothing from Brian.
So, what time is that meeting Friday and where is it?
It's 9 a.m. Friday, is it here?
I believe it's in the superintendent's conference room.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
it's
as far as I know.
Yeah.
gonna be tight.
That's what I'm wondering, if
Yeah.
it will change between now and then. 'Cause I think
Yeah,
it's grown a little
that's not
bit.
that big, so.
That was the original.
Okay, so Friday, 9 a.m. Any other questions or any other topics of discussion? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion by Dave, second by Lisa. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.